Now he's long. Oh my god. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. What are we looking at here?
We're looking at a Rakdos burn list.
Modern, of course.
Modern, yes. So, like all normal burn, it's trying to kill the opponent as fast as possible with usually 3 damage to a spell. But splashing black, because it has some of those options that you don't get to see as much. But I guess we'll start with the creatures. So, for Goblin Guide, 2/2 haste.
Yeah.
Sometimes draws the opponent's card, but you're trying to kill them as fast as possible, so it usually doesn't matter. Then we have 4 Dauthi.
Yeah.
Dauthi Voidwalker. So this is a 3/2 shadow creature. So shadow can only be blocked and can only block, not that it would ever want to block, a shadow creature. So it's basically a 3/3 that's unblocked, or a 3/2 that's unblockable. It also has the fun method of exiling anything that would enter your opponent's graveyard, and then of course you could sacrifice it to take it. So, sometimes that comes up.
Yeah. And the nice thing with this card too is, so it exiles your opponent's cards with a void counter on them, and then the way it's worded, you can play any card with a void counter. Play, not cast, so that includes lands.
Yes.
But also, because it's done with void counters, if they kill one of these, even if your opponent has things in exile that you can cast off of this card's ability, if they kill one of these and you play another one later in the game, you can still get back the cards that the first one exiled, because it's just anything with a void counter is what you can grab. So
it's not tied to the individual creatures, which is nice.
Yeah, pretty fun card.
And then we have 4 Orcish Bowmasters, because this card's just literally all over Modern, and we're playing black, so it kind of felt hard to not include it.
Plus, 1 damage to the face is kind of burn.
It is kind of burn, and if they're playing card draw, then it's just also ticking them down, so it does have its uses.
Yeah.
And then the last creature is kind of the weird one, which is Street Wraith, because it should never be cast as a creature. It is the way to play 56 cards in a deck.
Yeah.
Just cycling pay 2 life, and
And when you have a bunch of cards that do the exact same type of thing, running 56 cards, probably pretty good.
So then for spells, of course, we have the 4 lightning bolts, the mainstay of any burn deck. 3 damage to any target.
If you're not playing that in a burn deck, you're not playing a burn deck.
No, not really. Then we have 3 copies of Rift Bolt. We only have 7 copies, because I think we only had those 3 and 1 of the promo.
Yeah.
And then you had the 4 promos, so this is the card that only has 3 copies.
Yeah, but you have enough 3 damage redundancy here that...
we have an entire row of it.
It's not even the strongest one. It's like the 3rd place, maybe 4th even.
And then, of course, we have the 4 Lava Spikes. 3 damage.
Face.
For 1 mana. Then we have 4 Skewer the Critics. This one is it's 3 mana for 3 damage, but it only costs 1 if it's spectacled, which is as long as your opponent lost life this turn, it costs that. And since, the black ones lose life and the red ones deal damage, both of those mean the same, so it's basically a 1 mana for 3 damage. And then for the black cards, we have 4 Gonti's Machinations. This is a fun enchantment that basically whenever you lose life the first time each turn, it gains an energy. And then you can pay 2 energy and stack it to drain each opponent for 3.
Is it each?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So in multiplayer, you can gain a bunch of life, but in this one, it is a 1 mana drain 3, which is pretty good, because it helps you stay alive just that little bit longer.
Yeah. It's like a delayed lightning helix, kind of.
Yes. But only costing 1 mana, so a little cheap, a little nicer. Then we have 4 Bump in the Night. This is just target opponent loses 3 life for 1 black, so it is basically a black lightning bolt in this deck.
Yeah, black lava spike.
It also does have flashback for 6 mana, so if the game goes long enough and you need it, there's 3 more damage that can just sit in your graveyard.
Pretty nice.
And then we have 4 Sovereign's Bite. This is 2 mana to drain target player, so they lose 3 life, you gain 3 life.
Yeah.
It's just lightning helix that only goes to the face.
A little easier to cast.
Yes.
1 in a black.
And then for lands, we have 4 Blackcleave Cliffs. Fast land. Always
Fast
enters
deck.
on fast deck. 4 Bloodstained Mire. This lets us get, Blood Crypt or our Singleton Mountain and Plains. We have only 2 Blood Crypts because we do have the full set of Blackcleave Cliffs. Then we have 1 Fiery Islet and 2 Silent Clearings. These are basically our card draw of the deck. Costing a little bit of life to add either a black or a red mana, because we're not going to use the other ones, but it can also pay 1 and tap them and sacrifice them to draw a card, so it does give us the extra card if we just need, that one last burn spell to hit the opponent. And then we have 2 copies of Urborg, which turns all lands into swamps, which is very nice for this, to not have to pay life, but also can just, make this a swamp, and then we don't have to worry about it. We are more black than red, so it felt like a fun inclusion.
Yeah, makes sense. One thing you forgot to also mention with the Bloodstained Mire and the Silent Clearing or whatever
is the Machinations. So being able to ping ourselves in that case does have its uses, so it's also nice for that.
Yeah. So that is Rakdos Burn. See ya.
Bye!